Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down 10 of the most compelling watches across the entire price spectrum, from accessible everyday automatics all the way up to true horological icons. What unites every watch on this list is simple. Each one represents the very best of what its price class has to offer, delivering craftsmanship, heritage, and wrist presence that justifies every dollar. Whether you're shopping for your first serious timepiece or adding a crown jewel to an established collection, there's something on this list for you. Let's dive in. Number 10. Orient Komatsu. The Orient Komatsu opens today's list as one of the most extraordinary value propositions in mechanical watchmaking. Full stop. For a price that barely clears the entry fee for most Swiss quartz watches, the Komatsu delivers a 200-meter water-resistant dive watch with a unidirectional rotating bezel, a sunburst dial that shimmers with genuine depth, and, most remarkably, a sapphire crystal. The in-house Orient Caliber F6922 automatic movement features both hand-winding and hacking, giving you the kind of control over your timepiece that enthusiasts genuinely appreciate. The bold applied indices and luminous hands make the dial effortlessly readable, and the sunburst finishing in green, teal, and blue variants catches light in ways that make this watch look far more expensive than it is. Orient manufactures every movement in-house, meaning you're getting real manufacture heritage at a price most brands charge for plastic-cased fashion pieces. If you're starting a collection or simply want a proper mechanical diver without financial pain, the Komatsu is where the journey begins. The Orient Komatsu retails for approximately $175 USD. Number 9. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36mm. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36mm is the purest distillation of everything that made Rolex the most recognized watch brand on Earth. And in this configuration, it remains one of the most beautiful and thoughtfully resolved watch designs ever produced. Strip away the complications, the bezels, and the professional tool pretensions of the more famous Rolex families, and what you're left with is this: a perfectly proportioned 36mm oyster case, an in-house caliber 3230 automatic movement with a 70-hour power reserve and Rolex's Chronergy escapement, and a dial so confidently clean it needs nothing more than applied indices and the Rolex crown to command complete attention. The coral red, turquoise, and candy-colored dial options introduced in recent years transformed the Oyster Perpetual into something joyful and collectible in a way that surprised even seasoned watch watchers. On the wrist, the quality of finishing, every bevel, every brushed surface, every polished flank, reminds you exactly why Rolex charges what it charges. This is watchmaking with zero compromise at every level of production. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36mm retails for approximately $6,150 USD. Number 8. Grand Seiko SBGM 2221 GMT. The Grand Seiko SBGM 2221 GMT is the kind of watch that stops conversations, not with flash or bravado, but with a quality of finish so refined, so quietly extraordinary, that once you see it in person, other watches begin to look unfinished by comparison. Grand Seiko's legendary Zaratsu polishing technique produces case surfaces with a mirror flatness and depth that catches light in a way no photograph fully captures. The snowflake dial, Grand Seiko's most iconic motif, is here rendered in a cool blue-gray that evokes the frost of the Japanese highlands, with applied indices that glow with a warmth only hand-applied lume can produce. Inside, the Caliber 9S66 automatic movement provides a 72-hour power reserve with a GMT complication that allows independent hour hand adjustment, making time zone changes seamless for the frequent traveler. The SBGM 221 represents Grand Seiko's philosophy at its clearest, that watchmaking should be judged not on marketing heritage, but on the actual quality of the object in your hand. By that measure, it competes with timepieces costing significantly more. The Grand Seiko SBGM 221 GMT retails for approximately $4,800 USD fee. Number 7. Omega Speedmaster Professional Hesalite. The Omega Speedmaster. Professional Hesalite is not simply a watch. It is one of the most historically significant objects in human history, the timepiece worn by astronauts on every crewed NASA mission since 1965, including the Apollo 11 moon landing. That alone would make it extraordinary. But what makes the Speedmaster Professional enduringly compelling is that it has never needed the history as a crutch. The watch itself is simply excellent. The caliber 1861 manual wind movement, unchanged in its fundamental character from the one that went to the moon, requires a daily ritual of winding that connects you physically to its mechanism in a way quartz and even automatic movements cannot replicate. The Hesalite acrylic crystal, chosen over sapphire for this reference, gives it a warm, slightly distorted vintage glow that purists and historians passionately prefer. The black-on-black dial layout, the asymmetric case protecting the crown, the straight lug configuration. Every detail has survived because it works. Wearing the Speedy Professional is wearing a genuine piece of human achievement. The Omega Speedmaster Professional Hesalite retails for approximately $6,300 USD. Number 6. Tudor Black Bay 58. The Tudor Black Bay 58 is the watch that proved beyond any doubt that Tudor had fully stepped out of Rolex's shadow and into its own creative identity. The 58 designation references 1958, the year Tudor introduced its first 200-meter diver, and every proportion of this watch honors that heritage with precision. At just 39 mm with a slimmer case profile than its Black Bay siblings, the 58 wears with an elegance that larger dive watches simply cannot match, sitting under a shirt cuff, flattering smaller wrists, and pairing naturally with dressed-up occasions that a bulkier diver would overpower. The MT5402 in-house automatic movement delivers a 70-hour power reserve with Kawasaki-level accuracy, and the gilt dial option, with warm gold text and hands on a black dial, is among the most beautiful executions of the classic dive watch format produced by anyone at any price. Tudor's build quality is exceptional. This is a watch that will serve its owner for decades with periodic servicing. The Tudor Black Bay 58 retails for approximately $3,775 USD. Number 5. Longines Spirit Zulu Time. The Longines Spirit Zulu Time is a GMT watch that earns its place in the conversation through aviation heritage, exceptional movement quality, and a design discipline that never mistakes busyness for richness. Longines supplied aviation instruments and timing equipment to aviators and military forces for generations, and the Spirit collection draws directly from that legacy, with clear, pilot-legible dials, cathedral hands dripping in lume, and a GMT complication calibrated for the kind of precision that aviators demand. Inside beats the proprietary L847.4 caliber with a silicon escapement for outstanding magnetic resistance and a 48-hour power reserve. The Zulu Time designation, military speak for UTC, speaks directly to the watch's navigation DNA. Available in a cushion case configuration that splits the difference between vintage pilot watches and modern sports watches, the Spirit Zulu Time sits on the wrist with confidence and purpose. Sapphire crystal, solid construction, and Longines' robust service network round out a package that represents genuine Swiss quality at a price that remains attainable. The Longines Spirit Zulu Time retails for approximately $2,300 USD. Number 4. Tissot PRX Powermatic 80. The Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 is one of the most striking value propositions in Swiss watchmaking today, and its appearance on this list, regardless of company, is entirely earned on merit. Its integrated bracelet design draws clear inspiration from the legendary luxury sports watches of the 1970s, delivering a look that punches dramatically above its price class. The Powermatic 80 movement inside provides an exceptional 80-hour power reserve with a silicon balance spring for superior anti-magnetic performance, specifications that embarrass the competition at this price point. The slender case sits beautifully flat on the wrist, and the sunburst dial textures catch the light with a richness that feels genuinely premium. Whether you choose the classic steel and blue combination or explore the bolder colorway options, the PRX Powermatic 80 earns compliments in any setting, from the boardroom to weekend brunch. In a landscape littered with watches that look good in photographs but disappoint on the wrist, the PRX is the rare piece that exceeds expectations in person. The Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 retails for approximately $775 USD. Number 3. Orient Bambino. Version 4. The Orient Bambino version 4 has no business looking this good at this price, and yet here we are. With its gently domed dial, domed sapphire crystal stacked above it, and classically proportioned Arabic and Roman numeral layout, the Bambino version 4 channels mid-century fine watchmaking in a package that costs less than most people spend on a weekend. The in-house Orient Caliber F6724 automatic movement offers both hand-winding and hacking, a level of practicality rarely seen at this tier, and delivers solid, reliable daily accuracy. The curved lugs follow the wrist naturally, and the sunburst dials in deep burgundy, rich navy, and warm champagne are genuinely beautiful, not merely nice for the price. Paired with the included leather strap, it dresses up effortlessly and holds its own at formal occasions where watches costing 20 times more are present on neighboring wrists. It is not a compromised watch. It is a very good watch that happens to cost very little. The Orient Bambino version 4 retails for approximately $170 USD. Number 2. Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical is a watch that asks something of you. A few deliberate turns of the crown each morning and gives back something genuinely meaningful in return. Hamilton supplied field watches to the United States military for decades, and the Khaki Field Mechanical keeps that tradition alive with the purest possible expression of the format. A manual wind movement, a no-nonsense matte dial, bold, luminous Arabic numerals, and a case sized exactly right for active use. The ETA 28012 hand wound caliber inside has earned a global reputation for reliability and longevity. This is a movement that watchmakers trust and enthusiasts respect. There is no date complication to disrupt the dial's clarity, no rotor noise, no compromise, just clean, direct mechanical timekeeping delivered through one of watchmaking's most historically resonant designs. Worn on a canvas NATO or a simple leather strap, it disappears into any wardrobe while simultaneously being the most interesting thing in the room to anyone who notices it. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical retails for approximately $395 USD. Number 1. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 43. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 43 earns the top spot on today's list by doing something none of its competitors at this price managed to do. It creates genuine wonder. Named after the cocktail Shipwreck, a creation of the Star Bar in Tokyo's Ginza district, the SRPB 43 features a midnight blue sunburst dial with an open heart complication that reveals the beating balance wheel beneath, applied Roman numeral indices finished in warm gold, and a domed hardlex crystal that gives the whole composition a glowing, almost liquid depth. The 4R57 automatic caliber inside provides both hand-winding and hacking alongside that captivating open heart display. This is a watch that rewards long, close looking, the kind of piece that draws your eye back throughout the day and reveals new details each time. The warm, dressy character of the SRPB 43 gives it a versatility that stretches from black tie to business casual, and Seiko's manufacturing depth means you're backed by one of the industry's most capable and accessible service networks. There are technically more expensive watches on this list. There are watches with more storied histories, more complex movements, and more prestigious names on the dial. But the SRPB 43 is the watch on this list that most reliably produces the feeling every collector chases, the feeling that the object on your wrist is genuinely special. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 43 retails for approximately $350 USD.